We understand that 80 to 90% of all goods shipped or all goods transported go via ship or inland waterway. Relatively speaking, ships are a cheaper method of transport than other alternatives such as air. The dimensions of most of what we see around us wouldn't fit in a body of an aircraft anyway. Certainly something like an infrastructure piece of kit or cars, wheat, bulk oil or LNG, there is really no alternative but to use ships.
The vulnerabilities for marine transport are significant, and they span across a number of different potential challenges. You would have the perils of the sea, so things like heavy weather or significant storms that can affect vessels while they're out at sea. But in addition, because of the distances that are traveled between where goods are sourced and where they're going to, you have things like the change in temperature or in climates from, for example, the tropics to, say, to Alaska or vice versa.
Things happen to goods whilst in transit, and it's our job to ensure that we protect our clients.
There have been many different types of claims that have occurred over the years, but some of the most interesting ones have typically involved large vessels, whether it be strandings in Mexico or in the UK, fires on board vessels, and there have been things that have resulted in the shutting of ports occurrences, whether it be sinkings or pollution events.
The time when managing the supply chain comes into most focus is where there's a time sensitivity, whether it's getting a particular high fashion or a high tech good to market, or where there's a construction of an LNG plant or a construction of a coal-fired power plant. And some of the goods that should be there have been either waylaid or delayed or have got damaged. And then we've had to hire barges, we've had heavy lift vessels, we've had Antonov planes to source and bring those goods to the final destination. There are many things that companies can do to protect themselves against disruption in the supply chain, and particularly marine transport. The first step would be to work with a logistics provider and or shipping company with a good track record, with good tonnage, good crew records. Secondly, they can look at how they prepare the cargo themselves, packing, preparation for transit, look at who they are doing business with and their terms of sale, because they can transfer out of the risk if they so desire. They can involve people like ourselves with risk engineers who will come and sit with them and talk through the potential aspects of risk to both the marine transit and the whole supply chain. And they can insure some of those risks to a third party. They can transfer that risk to a third party like Zurich.